You thought it was just fun and games until the child stars started talking. The world watched them grow up on screen. We laughed, we cried, we followed every twist and turn. But behind the lights, the contracts, and the carefully edited episodes lies a darker truth, one only the kids themselves can tell. Today, we dive deep into the confessions of former child reality stars who finally had the courage to expose the system. The curtain has been lifted, and what lies behind is chilling. This isn't about fame, it's about what it cost them. And for many, the price was far higher than any of us ever imagined. It wasn't real. It was scripted chaos. What if your childhood memories were manufactured for millions and you couldn't stop it? Many child stars have come forward with shocking revelations. The drama was often staged, emotions were manipulated, and scenes were refilmed until the producers got the perfect meltdown. Children were coached on how to react, cry, and even argue with their peers. Authentic moments were rare. Most were carefully choreographed to maximize audience engagement. One former child, cast member of a family series, recalled, "They told me to throw a tantrum, and I didn't even know why. I was just doing what I was told." What you saw on TV felt real, but for the children inside it, it was just another exhausting take in a scripted circus. Contracts trapped us before we even knew what they meant. Imagine signing away your freedom before you even learned cursive. Jojo Siwa, known for her time on Dance Moms, revealed she had no control over her schedule. "I didn't get to say no," she said. "I was 11 and working like a grown-up." Most of these agreements were signed by parents, and the kids had no legal say in what they were agreeing to. These contracts often contained clauses that locked them into years of production, limiting future opportunities. "I didn't even understand what I was agreeing to," one star shared. "But my parents were told it would be good for me. And once you're locked in, there's no room to grow, question, or even quit, just cameras waiting for your next reaction." We were smiling on camera, crying off it. Behind every perfect smile was a breaking point you never saw. Child stars have opened up about battling severe anxiety, depression and burnout during filming. From Toddlers and Tiaras to the Osbournes, kids were pushed to their emotional edge, all for ratings. While viewers saw glitter, costumes and confidence, off camera there were therapy sessions, breakdowns and silent suffering. Mental health was rarely addressed by the production teams. One former star revealed, "I had panic attacks before shoots, but no one asked how I felt. They just rolled the camera." These were children, not actors, and the industry turned their pain into primetime entertainment. Our parents became our bosses. When your biggest fan becomes your manager and your freedom disappears. Many child stars say their parents blurred the line between love and business. For Colin Gosselin, of John and Kate Plus 8, it felt like his entire family was turned into a brand. With the allure of fame and financial gain, parents often made decisions that benefited the show rather than their own child's well-being. Boundaries collapsed under the weight of spotlight dreams. There was no difference between home and set, Colin later revealed. "My life belonged to the show, not to me." In many cases, parental protection gave way to performance pressure and the child had no one left to turn to. They filmed everything, even the pain. There were no safe moments, no private thoughts, no mercy. From medical emergencies to emotional breakdowns, nothing was sacred. Jill Duggar-Dillard spoke out against how 19 kids and counting invaded every moment of her life. There was no off switch. Even bedtime prayers and bathroom breaks were subject to filming if it served the storyline. Kids were effectively stripped of privacy. "I was sobbing once, and they just zoomed in," she said. "I felt like my pain became their content." Imagine never having a private thought again because even your suffering was part of someone else's entertainment plan. School was just a prop. Education became background noise in the show called Fame. While networks claim to provide on-set tutoring, multiple stars say it was barely functional. A former cast member from a hit TLC show revealed, "We had tutors, but lessons were always cut short for filming." Hours spent on set meant missing out on foundational learning and social growth. School days became fragmented, and long-term academic struggles were inevitable. "I never learned how to write a proper essay," one former teen star admitted. "I was too busy filming reaction scenes." For many, their education was the real cost of fame, one that left them unprepared for life after TV. We were famous, but broke. Millions watched us on screen, yet some of us couldn't even afford lunch. Most people assume child stars are financially set for life. But reality TV, unlike film or scripted television, often doesn't protect child earnings under Coogan laws. Parents or networks often collected the earnings, leaving the children with little to nothing once the cameras stopped rolling. Even merchandise with their faces brought them no profit. "I saw my image on lunchboxes," said one reality TV alum. "But I never got a dime." Fame without fortune became the cruel irony for dozens of child stars who were left behind. Life after fame was a nightmare. When the spotlight vanishes, so does your identity. Child stars like Jazz Jennings and Danielle Bregoli, Bud Barbie, describe crippling identity issues after leaving TV. The sudden drop from constant attention to real life is like crashing from a high, and many aren't prepared. Some turned to therapy, while others spiraled into substance abuse or isolation. The fame that once lifted them became a prison when it faded. "I didn't know who I was without an audience," Bregoli once admitted. "It took years to feel human again." Life after the cameras isn't peaceful, it's often lonely, confusing, and painfully real. We're speaking now so it doesn't happen again. They told us to smile. Now we're telling the truth. Child stars are uniting to demand change. From Jojo Siwa to former TLC kids, they're calling for updated child labour laws, mental health protections, and guaranteed trust funds. Advocacy groups are also lobbying for limits on filming hours, access to on-set counsellors, and stricter financial oversight. The movement is growing louder every year. "This isn't just our story," Jojo said. "It's a warning, and it's a fight for the next generation." The industry may have ignored their pain, but today, these stars are using their voices as their most powerful weapon. Thank you for watching. If this story opened your eyes, please like the video and subscribe for more powerful truths from behind the scenes of fame and entertainment.